Werewolf by Night. Okay, full spoiler talk. I love this. I love this short one shot, whatever you want to call it. Um, I just go through a list of things that I like watching this movie. Of course, I love the music. I'm starting to notice more when certain characters, whether it's a superhero thing, whether it's whatever, have distinct themes. Whether it's like an orchestral theme or especially when it's like a orchestral thing. There's something grand about it that I love. And one of my favorite shots in this movie, they play a certain like Werewolf by Night's theme that they've made for this movie. It's loud and it feels so good. I've rewatched this film, boy, I think twice. It feels like a lot of times, but I've also seen reactions online to it as well. It is rewatchable, maybe because it's so short. Usually, hot take for me, films are not good because they're rewatchable. In fact, again, hot take. Most of the films I love that are some of the greatest films for me are not rewatchable for me. I like thinking about them more than going back to them. A Blade Runner, it's just in my mind. It's just in my mind. Prestige, um, Interview with a Vampire, which I love, but it's not something I'm thinking of going back to. Some of my favorite things, with some exceptions, are things that I'd rather think about in terms of the things I love, and some things that I'm critical about, then go back to it. With exceptions to the rule, but it is rewatchable as well. And I love the music, like I said. I love the intro for this. It starts is a great introduction to like the darker side of the Marvel universe. I'm a fan to a degree of horror, just a genre. And when it comes to fantasy, I noticed over the years that the stuff I'm attracted to most is supernatural stuff and also kind of street level superhero stuff. When it comes to fantasy, again, that doesn't mean I've liked everything uh, that has been associated with stuff like that, with supernatural, especially in these big franchises like the MCU and other things. Don't get it twisted. I'm saying this specifically is something that I love, and it just feeds my need of the supernatural, even from the very start. You know, like I said, the theme was playing, the intro. There was this certain voice. It was like, ooh, the known universe and this and that. I was like, oh yeah, this is my type of thing. He's just describing like the difference between the established world of Marvel and like the darker side that we haven't seen, but I'm sure we're getting teased to. Which again, this is the first time that I loved that side of Marvel, and it feels good. Um, like it was made for me. Another thing, the long takes. My favorite scene in this movie is after Jack transforms into Werewolf by Night. And that long take where he's just ripping through everyone is just chef's kiss, you know? The choreography, just ripping through people. I love him scratching those all the time. It's a great long take. He's just wrecking some guards and just ripping their throats out and scratching people up, mauling them. And he scratches a wall, and it's like some Wolverine shit, but it's not, and it's so fucking. I'm sorry for cursing. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Um. There was some good choreography in this as well that I really liked. Um. By the way, people want shout out to Michael Giacchino, because this is all like I'm guessing stuff to do with him, stuff to do with the editing crew and the stunt crew as well. But at the end of the day, you and certain other people that you work with have to coordinate that. So I'm gonna put respect on you. I've heard this is the first thing that Michael Giacchino's directed, I know he's composer. I don't want him personally, just as a side note, to do something like Blade. I've heard people want him to do that. I say no, just because he do a really good short film that shows violence and the type of long take action I want to see doesn't mean you're the guy for Blades. Yeah, in my opinion. But I do like shout out to Michael Giacchino. Um, and the violence, yeah, that's another thing. I sort of said already. Ripping, I saw blood. I saw the how blood came to be. Um, I'm trying really hard not to speak, not to talk positively about this without speaking negatively about things I don't care for in the past because of like big franchise stuff. Because it's important for me to recognize that there's a set pattern with some of these franchises, and they're just not gonna do certain things that I want them to do. Um, so it's important for me to find them elsewhere. But I do appreciate the level of violence and blood that was in this. Um, yeah, people getting cut and showing it, people getting slashed and show it, people getting mauled, showing it. I genuinely appreciate that. Obviously, the black and white helped that a lot. Yeah, I had to put respect on the people behind this movie for that. Whoever thought of that idea to make it black and white, old school, universal monsters film. I respect that. I like how much they humanize Jack. There's a scene in the crypt with him and Elsa Bloodstone. You know what I like about Jack? I like that he is a bit of a he's awkward, but he doesn't seem buffoonish completely. He has like a little moment that is a bit buffoonish, but it didn't feel like over the top. Like what again I associate with these big franchises. To be honest, it does annoy, but like I said, I've come to accept that for the majority, they see it as good storytelling. For me, not so much. So I have to look for awkward but not over the top characters elsewhere. But I did, yeah, I liked how they humanized him. He did seem like a gentle soul. His friendship with Man Thing, Ted was cool. They do seem like good friends. It makes me wonder how they met and how they became friends. A little bit. Man Thing I liked too. Um, there was kind of a softness to him as well, but he was still Man Thing. Don't get it twisted. Also was cool. The only thing with her is that I forget her name, Laura Donnelly, who plays Elsa. She both looks and acted so much like Jessica Jones that I remember watching it. I was like, I feel like I need more from her in future things to get a full impression of her, because she was just giving me supernatural version of Jessica Jones. I mean, not supernatural, in the supernatural genre. That equivalent to Jessica Jones. If you put her in that type of genre, that situation, right? But she was cool. Shout out to Laura Donnelly. She had great action. When I was thinking of the violence, I was thinking partly of her as well as Werewolf by Night. Um. Oh, last thing, the look of Werewolf by Night. That look, the old school Wolfman. You look like a overgrown hairy brother. Oh my god, that shit was again chef's kiss. The glowing eyes, that shit was amazing. I loved it. Um, yeah, I still can't get over that shot, the dolly zoom shot where they show him proper, and you see him just like, that shit was amazing. I loved it. Favorite shot, like I said, favorite part of the entire. I want to say movie is a short one shot or whatever it is, short film. I'll say that. As far as my cons, one con is that I wish the Man Thing, he has like a killer finishing move that he does on people. that I wish was looked more practical. Even when it was black and white, I wish it was more practical. Actually, you know what? Spoilers, I can say it. Yeah, he has a move where people melt, and I wish uh, it was more practical. You could see people's flesh kind of boiling off, but maybe that would have been seen as gratuitous, even with black and white. Not for me. Again, CG is cool, but it's like I can get over that quickly. Other than that, the hunters seems kind of stupid in this film. People who are meant to rack up a certain amount of killings, there's certain self-awareness and certain skill that should make it a bit harder to take you out, but they would get taken out fairly quickly, in my opinion, whether it was by other hunters or by Werewolf by Night or by Man Thing, right? It should have been harder, a little harder, to take you guys out, and it wasn't. Like, brothers just died almost immediately. It was crazy. Those are more or less my thoughts. Let me know yours down below. Like, share, subscribe with your friends. Uh, Tell me your thoughts down below. Like I said, other than that, signing off. Salute.